It started out of nowhere. One day, I just started having dreams about a woman sleeping. Nothing unusual, just a dark and quiet room and that single person in the bed. It started the same every day, like tuning into a channel. I would be standing on the side in the corner, staring at her, tossing and turning. Even saw her phone light up a few times. Eventually, at the break of dawn, when the darkness outside her window would start to go away, my eyes in the dreams would close, and the next time I opened my eyes, I would be awake, right before my morning alarm. I work a mundane job at a sales firm, so nothing out of the ordinary there. If there's something you could point out, it would be that I am also living alone, while my parents and 2 younger siblings are away visiting family. A few times in those dreams, I saw some new things around. Heels and shoes beside the bed, takeout boxes or bags on the dressing table, a bottle of pills and headphones on the side table. Just everyday items. I never questioned what was happening with me, and I didn't have a reason to. Never has anyone ever properly explained what a dream can mean. Even if they do, it's always just a guess. 4 days straight, without fail, as soon as I would drift into sleep, my eyes would open and I would be there, standing in the corner, in the same dark and silent room, staring at the same person, sleeping. Until one day she woke up and looked at me. It was surreal. At the start it was the same, she was just sleeping on her side to the left. Then her phone rang, so she turned over to grab it, after which she flooded the room with a soft glow of blue light. It didn't happen immediately, but eventually her attention went towards me. She flinched as we made eye contact. She instantly lifted her head up. First, she focused her eyes on me, and then the confusion came over, until her face melted with the realization of what she was looking at, leaving behind only dread. By that moment, I was also confused. If this was just a dream, why was she looking at me? Then her mouth opened in a show of terror, a face that would be hard to forget. Then nothing. There was no sound. Her jaw hung in the air as her throat expanded and she pushed herself back. But I couldn't hear anything. It was never silent. There was just no sound. Until I, in the dream, lunged at her and I, out of my bed, I stumbled forward, hitting my forehead on the wall. It was actually helpful because it took me out of my drowsiness and I was wide awake now, despite the twinkling stars in front of my vision. My room was in silence, except for my heart drumming in my ears. It was still dark outside, and the time was 03:48 a.m. I stayed there in total silence. Once I calmed down, I climbed back on my bed and waited until morning. I didn't sleep. I couldn't bring myself to out of fear of what I might see next. The day went as well as you would think. I was slightly sleep deprived, but managed to get through the day. And that was it. Didn't have those dreams again. And I wish it had stayed that way, but it didn't. And actually, it got worse. First, I found that woman. She was living in my neighborhood down the street, and she was actually married. Her husband was out of state on business. I could only imagine what he saw when he came back. I even heard that the police had used a body bag to pull her out. The second one is that just 2 days ago, I started having those dreams again. And this time it was me. I watched myself sleeping from the foot of my bed. I was on my back, completely stiff, and I remained like that the whole night. Once I woke up, despite my hair standing on end, I gave my house a proper and thorough check. Didn't find anything broken or moved, found no broken locks, even checked the basement and the attic, and no one was hiding there. Not a trace or a mistake that I could see. Thought about calling the police, but had no clue how I would explain all this to them. And I'm definitely not calling mom or dad for this. They're just going to get angry at me, like always. So, today I'm writing this. Right now it is 3:15 a.m., and I am sitting here on my bed with a loaded handgun to my side. Don't worry, I didn't steal it. It's my dad's, and I wish I had listened and learned how to use one properly. I don't know what's going to happen or what is on the other side, but just a minute ago, I saw a shadow move underneath the door.
This was something I took from my dad, who's an investigator for the Oregon police. He once brought a few files from work while he was working on a report from home. This particular one was dated 15 July 2018 about a missing girl by the name of Haley Hopper. A letter written by her was found behind her bedside table. A brunette, sharp eyes, 162 pounds, 5'11", and a curved jaw. Listen, this is the best I can do in terms of describing her from a photo from that time. She was 21 when she went missing, and still is. Don't know where she might be or why she hasn't bothered coming back to her family. While I don't know about the dream stuff or why she never called her parents, I guess they weren't on good terms. According to the report at that time, the police were called in after the neighbors heard shots being fired at 3 in the morning. 2 shots, 2 bullet casings, 2 holes in the ceiling, and no bodies. The door to her room was broken into multiple pieces with what might be a hatchet or axe, just like those other women they found. This guy fancied singles and those living alone in the area at that time as well. She could have been the 5th one they found. However, against the home intruder, she had surprisingly managed to escape through her bedroom window. There was a porch roof right below it, and there they found a trace of her escape. Some shingles were broken, others were scratched. Later, they also found, don't know how, some loose floorboards underneath the big living room couch. Somebody was living underneath the floor, which personally gives me chills. So she should be 28 years old now, out there with a gun probably. I know my dad, he is never going to see this. Hopefully I don't get in trouble. And to Haley, if somehow, some way, by miracle of God, you find this and are reading this, keep running. He is looking for you.